Namaste, Jai Hind, and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. And we are coming to you live from the CNN News 18 Primetime Studios, presented by Schneider Electric Smart Home Solutions. I'm Anand, Narasimhan, and let's get the show underway. First up, viewers, let's focus on Karnataka, a site which is the place of faith for many lakhs of devotees. For 800 years, it stood tall as a representative of the confluence of culture that Bharat is and Bharatiya Sabhyata is. The Manjunatha Swami temple in Dharmasthala. Now, the complainant who had alleged that there were multiple murders, rapes and burials in Dharamsthala over a period of the last 2 decades was arrested on Saturday by the SIT formed to investigate these charges. The complainant, who had so far appeared before the panel wearing a mask, has now been identified as N Chinnayya, a former sanitation worker at the Dharmasthala Manjunatha Swami temple, who has been arrested for perjury after inconsistencies were found in the statements and documents provided by him. The Karnataka government and the SIT had come under pressure to arrest the complainant after the investigation team did not find human remains in the majority of the places where Chinnayya had claimed to have buried people under pressure from Dharmasthala temple authorities. And not just people, especially women is what he alleged. They were young girls and children who had been sexually abused, physically assaulted. Now, they didn't find anything like that. The arrest comes days after another complainant, Sujata Bhatt, revealed that she had lodged a false complaint claiming her daughter had gone missing in Dharamsthala in the year 2003. And according to her, some people asked her to do it due to her property dispute with the temple authorities. Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister D K Shivkumar on Saturday said the government is committed to taking action against anyone found guilty in connection with the alleged murders, rapes and burials charges. But now State Home Minister G. Parmeshwara has said legal action could be taken if the SIT finds the claims to be false. The BJP has pointed a finger at Chief Minister Sabarimala, accusing him of showing great urgency and enthusiasm in constituting an SIT to investigate the charges. The BJP claims that it is now beyond clear that this was a larger conspiracy by an entire ecosystem to defame and destabilize a very important institution of Hindu Astha, of Sanatan Pratha in Karnataka. Here is a look at the charges that were proven false. The first claim that there were mass rapes and murders of women. Now, what was found? No evidence of mass graves or female victims or human remains of theirs. Skull initially produced by the whistleblower, supposed whistleblower, was actually fake. The second claim, mass burial sites around the temple. No evidence consistent with the scale of the charges. Single male skeleton was found at one spot, and that too, when tested, one noted that that person succumbed to illness. Now the claim 3, destitute men systematically murdered. What was found? No identified burial site yielded any remains. Claim 4, Sujata Bhatt's missing daughter complaint. What was found? Sujata Bhatt admitted she never had a daughter. What was found? That her claims that activists pressured her to lie. What was found? That she lied over property dispute with the temple. Now, when it comes to the handling of the entire case by the state government, fresh questions emerge. Why weren't identity and credentials of the masked man verified before the SIT started the probe? Will the SIT frame charges against Sujata Bhatt for false claims of a missing daughter? Will the SIT question activists Sujata Bhatt has accused of putting pressure on her to lie? Is the Congress government guilty of jumping the gun to investigate the charges? Why is the Congress hesitating from transferring the case to the NIA? Many more questions. Who are the people who instigated and goaded N Chinnayya to go and misrepresent? Because the brother of Chinnayya has also come out now and said that my brother has acted under somebody's influence. Somebody has motivated him and instigated him. And there is another angle to it. A counter religion in place, certain forces who have been active in some other areas, the so-called conversion mafia in other parts of the country, who have tried to defame Hindu institutions or places of Hindu Astha in order to further their own nefarious agenda. Bhaskar Rao, spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP with us, Sanket Yanagi, advocate with us, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, scientist, author and political analyst with us. My namaste and Jai Hind to everybody. Bhaskar Rao ji, BJP is also speaking up when they have realized there is nothing there. Earlier they kept quiet. That's the allegation on the BJP.
It is actually not an allegation. See, the way in which the state government handled the entire Dharmasthala was designed to ensure that the vast Hindu majority stands insulted. One by one, things have started coming out. And the kind of allegations that were put forward, in fact, the brother of the venerated Virendra Hegedeji, it seems also welcomed the probe over there. But from the beginning itself, you look at it, the probe. A man appears in the police station with a skull and a bone. He is not investigated under Section 27 of the Evidence Act. And without the knowledge of the Superintendent of Police, Range IGP, Additional DGP, DGP, Home Secretary, or even so the Cabinet, the government under Siddaramaiah constitutes a SIT totally under the guidance of some left liberals and some urban nexals. And now we are getting to know that the source of all this and the pressure has come from one retired officer who served in Dakshin Kannada and who now happens to be a public representative from Tamil Nadu. That is the kind of nexus that is here. From the beginning, it was known. At least the investigation should have been carried out properly. And the activities of these 5 persons, number 1, Mahesh Shetty Timrodi, number 2, dismissed Sub-Inspector Girish Mattannavar, Samir, the videographer, then the Sujata Bhatt, and most important, that great masked man. All of these people have got together and they are only the front ends. There are a number of unseen hands behind them who are there out to denigrate this temple. Those things need to be investigated and brought to light. One by one, the masked man also has said he was under pressure and he was paid money. The masked man's wife said he never buried dead bodies. Sujata Bhatt, the lady says she was paid to tell all this lie. So what is it that all this indicates? That the vast Hindu majority should be humiliated. And as Anand Ranganathan has been saying this again, time and again, that efforts are on. A large conspiracy has been there to denigrate these Hindu places of worship. And Hindus themselves, some of these so-called Hindu themselves, they are siding with these people and espousing that cause over there. What is it that other people from other religions interfering into this place? Will they even tolerate a Hindu person making remarks if it comes to a masjid or a church over there? And out of respect, they allow them to carry on their religious business. But what business do other religion people have to poke their nose when they have no facts, no information? And from the beginning itself, I have been stressing that investigation is not going as per the provisions of CRPC or PNSS. And the entire thing, right from the beginning, has been shown to humiliate Hindus. Who will take a masked man's words and dig 16 feet to find a dead body? It is simply ridiculous. During Corona time, when you said a body should be buried 8 feet, people protested. Right. Is it really possible to do such thing? The investigation itself has been flawed, or rather, the investigators have not been allowed to investigate as per the provisions of law, but some unseen hands. Those unseen hands should be made visible now. That is our demand. And our President also made a very fervent plea that NIA should take over this investigation and unravel the large conspiracy that is behind the whole thing. Thank you.
Okay. Sanket Yanagi ji.
Let us understand or dissect this incident in multiple folds. Number 1, the temple at Dharmasthala is a Hindu Shaiva temple. Lingu is being worshipped there, that's a deity. And number 2, the devotees whose bodies alleged to have been buried are also Hindus. It is not Hindu temple. No, there is no allegation that this is not a Hindu temple, and there is no allegation that those bodies do not belong to Hindus. Both are connected to Hindu belief. Since there were multiple allegations, not just in this case, but since several times, and the government thought it appropriate, might be in a spur of the moment, because of certain developments, it started in a different way. The government thought it appropriate to have some investigation done in this matter, because it concerned to the belief of Hindus, it concerned to the bodies of the Hindus, it concerned to the village where the Hindu temple is situated, and that credibility should not be affected. That's how the government thought it appropriate to have it investigated. That's a good move, because one need to give a full stop to these allegations once for all. But now, as the story unfolds, several developments have taken place. Bodies were not found, according to some media reports. Though the SIT has not given any official declaration or official press release, it is presumed that bodies are not found. Number one. And government has not made any statement as such in this regard. Now, the police complaint is filed and the FIR is already brought to the notice of the court. It is submitted to the court. The investigating officer or the investigating agency now has been shifted from the Karnataka police to the SIT. That's SIT is a special investigation team which is going in replacement of the local police or the jurisdictional police to investigate the matter. Now the SIT is reporting to whom? To the jurisdictional magistrate, either by filing a B report or a C report or a charge sheet, as could be called as a final report. Now that being the procedure, during the course of investigation, the SIT might have thought it appropriate to investigate from multiple angles, including the legality or correctness of the statement made or genuinity of the statement made by the complainant, and that's a good move in fact. As the story unfolds, different people have come out saying different stories, but now that will not be the matter of investigation before the SIT. If some person says that his sister was missing, that is Ananya Bhatt's case, or some other person says that his sister or her documents have been misused or being used for some other reason, and there was a threat to her life, so on and so forth, that need not be investigated by the SIT. That needs to be another separate complaint. SIT's main focus should not be deviated, is my point, number one. If there are multiple complaints registered in multiple forums or jurisdictional police, that needs to be investigated independently without being affected to the credibility of this investigation by the SIT. That's another thing. But now, political mileage is being taken by multiple political parties without referring to any of the political parties' name, for which I do not belong to at any point of time now. There are two important aspects. The first question is, since it is connected to the Hindu bodies who alleged to have been buried, certain political parties kept quiet because it is connected to the bodies of those who belong to Hindu religion, number one. And though as it was not connected to temple, they kept quiet. And after some time they woke up and say, after some evidence or some declaration made by some media channels that there is no body found, they wake up and say that it is affecting the Hindu temple. I think they should have woken up long ago at the time of investigation itself. Because it was connecting to the bodies of Hindus, they kept quiet and they wanted to wait, watch and proceed. And this should not have been the attitude or approach of any of the political party. The truth should be unearthed, no doubt about it, and the guilty should be punished. The guilty might be the complainant, the guilty might be some conspirator, the guilty might be someone else also.
Right.
A thorough investigation is required.
But correct. But no. Well, Sankit Yanagi, you take a very balanced position, but in one swipe you just said, oh, perhaps Mr. Siddaramaiah might have jumped the gun. But all of this has happened, and those who are now not jumping the gun but raising or joining issue with this entire matter should not do, and you spoke so much eloquently on that. My question, sir, is if it was about Hindu Astha, about the Manjunatha Swami temple, and it was Hindu bodies, why it was not extra precaution taken to ensure that the claims that are being made are justified, that they are true? This investigation which is happening now, why wasn't it done earlier? Why jump the gun because it is a matter of the Manjunatha Swami temple? Would they have jumped the gun had it been about an Eidgah, or had it been about a church or a chapel or a graveyard or a cemetery behind a church? Would the same kind of alacrity or haste would have been shown, or people have said, let's wait, let's first determine, let's try and get spectral imaging done, let's see if there are human remains under these sites at all, let's understand the antecedents of this person who's coming in a mask and making the claim. Did any of this happen? None of this happened. Why did Mr. Siddaramaiah jump the gun? Who is he to jump the gun in this matter?
Yes, it's a valid question.
Yeah, he jumped the gun. He jumped the gun in the past when it came to anything which comes to matter of Hindu aspects, he'll jump the gun. Other matters, he will not jump the gun. In fact, he will let them off the hook when it comes to PFI. All of this is documented, sir. So, if there is a pattern there, then the Chief Minister should also answer this question. Is that fair or unfair? Yes. The other thing is, sir, There is a uniqueness about the Manjunatha Swami temple, and that is why that entire area and that entire belt, the Home Minister of the state, Mr. G. Parmeshwara, should know that it has become a rampant hunting ground for conversion mafia. That entire region, Dakshina Kannada region. One. Secondly, sir, the Manjunatha Swami temple is a shining bastion of confluence of Sanatan Pratha. Do you know, sir, that it's a Shaivite temple? Yes. But the Archakas there are Madhva Brahmins. That means they are Vaishnavas. And the Bhattas of the people, that means the Pergades, they are Jain Bunts. So you see how many different faiths confluence is happening at this Manjunatha Swami temple and why it is so important. So if this place is defiled, the faith of lakhs of crores is shaken. And who do they become ripe hunting grounds for? So why is that the Home Minister did not first tag back and let me step back and see? Let's try and see what is happening here. Let's try and before we go about burying this, digging up these places. And it's not media reports only. It was the media reports, it was YouTubers and certain media platforms who went overboard to say, oh, human remains have been found without anything being dug. So that was accepted. Now they're saying, oh, we have dug up everything, nothing's been found. That is purported media reports. I have an issue with the perspective that you are also trying to paint. It's not as balanced as you make it seem, Sanket Denagi, and I'd like to qualify that, please. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan, and then rebuttal, sir. I'll come back. Yes, surely. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan.
Yeah, good evening, Anand, and good evening to my fellow panelists. Look, what's the fact? The fact is that in this country, you can have victims shriek for decades of rape and sexual abuse by Chishtis linked to Ajmer Dargah, and its reputation remains unscathed. But some masked man broadcasts a lie, and one of the holiest of Hindu shrines, Dharmasthala, is slandered and condemned irreparably. Hindus are easy to abuse, Anand, because they don't behead transgressors. I congratulate the SIT for how it has dealt with this issue till now, but I am afraid, Anand, this case has to be handled absolutely by the NIA. It is quite probable some big forces, media houses, political parties and organizations, evangelical NGOs, land mafia, what have you, domestic and foreign, are behind this slander and abuse of the holiest of Hindu places. The idea was to eradicate Dharma Sanatana, and they began with Dharmasthala. Look, being a Darwinian atheist, I have no skin in the game, but this much I know. Sanatana has survived 8 millennia because it imbibes the scientific virtues of diversity, empathy, independent thought and reform. In Hinduism, religion is an offshoot of the way of life, while in Abrahamic ideologies, way of life is an offshoot of religion. It follows that the former is less shackled by rigidity or by rules and dictates and is more mutable, celebrating diversity of its followers. And as always, the source, the fountainhead, dictates mutability and eagerness to change. In Hinduism, there are sects that promote and celebrate atheism, Charvaks. There are sects that reject Vedas altogether, Lingayats. How gloriously ironical is that? Rejecting your holy scriptures and yet being proud Hindus. Can this happen in any other religion? Hinduism is an all-accepting, all-questioning idea. Let me be clear. If we want to save India, we have to save Hinduism. But for how long can Hindus fight with one hand tied? This discrimination meted out by the secular state, it is impossible, because for how long will we pretend that we are not practicing secularism but appeasement? For how long, Anand?
Fair point that you ask. I have only one issue where I do not join issue with you, or one point that till the time we continue to call it Hinduism, it will continue to be divided because we continue to fall into the trap of Skiism. From the time we call it Hindutva or being Hindu or Hinduness, then the whole narrative changes. Right now, Hindutva is villainized. Hinduism is branded into a Skiism, slotting. So, as a Darwinian atheist, it is my humble submission to you to please kindly consider in your future depositions. But my other question to you, Dr. Ranganathan, is that questions have to be asked of the BJP also. Mr. Bhaskar Rao has to admit and ask, those who are supposed to be politically the saviors of Hindutva, those who are supposed to be fighting only for the Hindu cause and the true cause, etc., how many of them moved the court to say, don't defile Dharmasthala?
No, the court was never moved. The court was never moved.
Why? The BJP has some very ardent lawyers who understand the law. Why didn't they step into court to defend the interest of the Hindus? If you
Court
so
was never-
if you so fervently believe that the BJP is standing up for the cause and the dignity of the Hindus,
See,
did the BJP
SIT
move court here, sir?
No, sir,
Did the
listen to
BJP
me.
take umbrage to the fact that without proper proof that these lands were being dug up?
See, right from the beginning, apart from going to the courts as a political party, BJP was opposed to the investigation, saying that the constitution of SIT itself was done in great hurry when there was ample time for Dakshin Kannada police to investigate the case. Here I would remind you there is a case called the Lalita Kumari case where the sensational complaint comes to the fore. A preliminary investigation is carried out before a case is registered. No such thing was carried out.
So why didn't you
as
move
Anand-
court on
wait,
that, sir?
Just wait. Here, when so much of allegations were flying against the Dargah over there, nothing happened. And as you yourself had said that, Siddaramaiah has been known for taking an anti-Hindu stand. A decade and a half ago, he
Especially
threatened the
then, why
Pejawar
didn't you move
Swamiji.
court?
No,
Why
he
didn't you ensure
threatened
that the
Pejawar-
probe is court monitored?
Court was
Why
not-
didn't you ensure that before they
I
dig up
cannot
these
say-
lands of Dharmasthala?
see-
When I say you, I am saying the BJP. There are so many lawyers within the BJP. Why didn't they do it, sir? Why didn't they use the courts, the law of the land to protect the interests of the Hindus? Even if the victims were supposedly
that
Hindus,
is
the
one of
lands
the
were
suggestions
sacred
that-
lands.
See, that is one of the suggestions that we have. These things have been debated, discussed at a number of levels over there. It is not as simple an answer why you did not go to court. There could have been a powerful reason. It was not that we did not go to court. There must have been some reason why we did not go to court. But on the ground, there was absolute opposition to this. And Siddaramaiah is known for this. He wanted to take over the Pejawar Swamiji temple.
Then the
at that
BJP
point
should
of-
not claim credit in this case at all because the
it
SIT
is
was
not a
formed
question-
by the
No,
Karnataka government. It
it
is
was not
DK
a question of
Shivkumar and G.
credit.
Parmeshwara who have come back and said, okay, the investigation proves otherwise, now we will crack down. It is under their stewardship that the arrests are
We
being
have been
made.
telling from
So
the
what has the
beginning
BJP
itself-
done here then?
No, don't hold on to one point over there, Anand. Don't hold on to one point over there. Discussion has taken place. There must have been some reason why it has not gone. And that is not the only solution. Do you think if you had gone to court, things would have been come into place? Sir? Definitely not over there. There are other ways to deal with that entire thing over there. And those things are falling in. Those things have fallen into place now. At every stage, our party has been closely associated with the temple. Not only that, lakhs of Hindus who got great reverence, admiration, and support for the Bharatiya Janata Party are always with us over there. They're not going to the court with a conscious decision. It was not a diabolical decision not to go over there. And this is something which this government has been doing again and again. Not appeasement, not just secularism, but appeasement. Same Siddaramaiah had consumed non-vegetarian food and went to the same temple where they're showing absolute disregard for this place over there. So whatever has happened now, finally truth has got
my
unraveled.
point is, sir,
Dharmasthala has become stronger
had a
than what...
BJP done any brought disrepute to any other faith, sir, they would have been taken to court, and had they moved against any other institution, immediately court would have been moved by people. The legal recourse, the option of choosing legal recourse, taking legal recourse to protect the right of Hindus was there with those who claim to be the political custodians or guardians of Hindutva, and they have not exercised this in this case, and time and again they have been caught. They have been caught not doing this and waiting for the opportunity and perhaps saying, oh, is my timing right here or my timing right later? That's the accusation on the BJP on this. Yes, Sanket.
It was a conscious decision.
My point, sir, is I brook no favor or no sides for any political party. My interest,
I'm
my
not
interest
telling you
very
that
clearly,
you have
sir,
what-
is
see,
with the country
whatever decision has taken,
and the
all those
inherent
things what you are mentioning were
Hindutva of
also
this country.
considered.
That's where
What
it
you
is.
mentioned-
And in a country that is called Hindustan, if Hindus cannot have their rights protected, then it's a matter of serious concern for all policymakers. Yes, Sanket
So what
Yanagi.
you are saying was also discussed.
Let me explain a few chronological events in this matter. On 22nd June 2025, two Bangalore-based lawyers issued a press statement revealing that a former sanitation worker from Dharmasthala was willing to identify grave sites and assist in uncovering the alleged crimes. On 27th June 2025, a delegation of lawyers approached Dakshin Kannada SP and to formally request an inquiry into the claims of the mass burials. On 3rd of June 2025, former sanitation worker filed a written complaint. 4th June July 2025, based on the complaint, Dharmasthala police station has registered MFIR. On 10th of July 2025, whistleblower granted protection under the Witness Protection Scheme. 11th of July 25, complainant appeared before Beltang court to record his statement and submitted skeletal remains he claimed to have exhumed from one of the burial sites.
Yeah, now by
only 1 minute.
Okay.
Please allow me to complete.
Okay.
On 14th July, a chairperson from the State Women's Commission, Nagalakshmi Chaudhary, wrote a complaint to the Chief Minister for formation of the SIT. 19th July 2025, State Government officially constituted SIT. 25th July, SIT took over, but BJP protests on August 21 after 2.5 months. First protest on 21st of August 25,
BJP protest. BJP protest are on the
24th of August, 22, 21, 23, 24 and 25 August.
Correct,
After
sir.
so much
We have
of
questioned
water
that, and
being
please
thrown
raise
beneath the bridge.
it. Please raise that. But when you read the timeline, also ask this question: that when a person comes with the skeletal remains, was it determined whether it is of a male or a female? How old was this? Why didn't they do
That's
it?
the duty of the inquiry officer.
Why didn't they do it? Why didn't the police do it? When was the FIR registered on the 10th of June about this complaint? What was the investigation done by the Dharamsthala police before it went to the court? Did it determine if there are any human remains? Did they at any point in time investigate the skeletal remains carefully to first determine whether there is merit on the complaint that's been made before they went
Let
about
me
digging and
explain
spending
that.
crores? That was not done. Dr. Ranganathan, I've got news coming through on another Karnataka matter. We'll go to that. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan.
No, very quickly, look, and I've written about this. The fact of the matter is discrimination against Hindus continues even under the BJP, and Bhaskarji is a very dear friend and very erudite person. He would accept that constitutionally, legally, when you deal with facts, you deal with facts. The fact is BJP controls more temples now than even Congress did. The BJP has not abrogated Place of Worship Act. The BJP has so many other illegal constitutionalities against Hindus that are still continuing. But I want to limit myself to this matter at hand. Now, admittedly, there is very little that can be faulted with the fact that within a matter of a week, you have unearthed this entire plot. As I said, the SIT needs to be congratulated. I mean, in this country, we've seen worse. We've seen SIT coming up with completely made up issues where, you completely derail the investigative process. So in this case, thankfully, they've come down to the bottom of it. Now, how do we go forward? The SIT is not enough, I'm afraid.
No, it's not. The NIA has to investigate who are all behind the scene. But most importantly, the Chief Minister who jumped the gun.
Focusing on that point, because there are players, as you hinted briefly at evangelical organization. This is a very serious matter, Anand.
The point is, if that connects to the Chief Minister's office and also the State Women's Commission's office, then that has to be investigated, and those people who have the connections need to either apologize or step down, or they should be also held criminally culpable for defaming Astha and also attempt to try and defame and dent the Astha of millions. Now, we got more news coming through. I request our guests to stay on. It's again Karnataka, and we'd like your comment on this. In this entire controversy surrounding the Mysuru Dasara inauguration, Mysuru Kodagu MP and Wadiyar royal family member Yaduvir Wadiyar has spoken to News 18 and said that while he applauds Banu Mushtaq for taking Kannada to the world stage, Dasara is the worship of Chamundeshwari in Karnataka and goddess Durga across Bharat. Calling it a dharmic festival, he says the guest who inaugurates should have the same sentiment, adding that the government should not play with the sentiments of the people. Listen in.
I just wanted to understand from you, with the government inviting Banu Mushtaq, the Booker Prize winner, how do you see it as well? Not only as the MP, but also from the royal family.
There is no doubt that Miss Banu Mushtaq is a very noble personality. Her contributions to Kannada literature and bringing it to the world stage is very laudable, and of course we applaud that and join the rest of the state in honoring that contribution to the last word. The issue that we have all expressed discontent is, of course, continual playing with the sentiments of the beliefs of this people and their state, especially given the background that the Dasara festival is a dharmic festival. And even though the state obviously does it from a viewpoint of being under a constitutional right, it still has a background, and they still put the goddess Chamundeshwari into the Ambari and have her lead the Vijayotsava or the Dasara Jambu Savari procession. in view of all of these things, the guest should also accommodate certain beliefs, have a viewpoint that is Bharatiya in nature, and want to encourage and not be opposing to the ideals and the beliefs that
Now, Sanket Yanagi, respecting Hindu Astha here?
I will not comment on individual statements made in his individual capacity. But one thing the government should have understood, that it is not just an inauguration of a function, it is inauguration of something connected to some religion or religious activities. That's how I would say the government should have been more cautious. And I'm happy to share one incident of 2013, wherein my grandfather, Dr. N K Balappa, inaugurated cultural events at Mysore Dasara at Palace. And I, having been the participant at that time with my grandfather, I've seen the religious activities connect to that event.
Yes.
And I think the chief minister or the minister concerned should have been more cautious. I'm not against anyone, but have been more cautious. I'm not being diplomatic.
You think, Sanket, I respect you for the fact that you have taken a position they should be cautious and this was wrong. But Dr. Ranganathan, are we trying to say that Mr. Siddaramaiah does not know and did not know the importance? A Kuruba himself, who's applied his wares all through his life in Karnataka, does not know the importance of the Dasara celebrations and what it means.
No, it's very simple. I have absolutely no problem if Miss Bhanu, the lady in question who was asked to inaugurate the Hindu Dharmic festival with Hindu gods and goddesses, if she believes that it is wrong to say that there is no God but Allah and no one has the right to be worshipped anybody else but Allah. If she truly believes that there are other gods other than Allah, if she does not believe in the kalma, I have no problem in her inaugurating. The problem comes if she believes that there is no other god or goddesses, nobody other than Allah can be worshipped. At the same time, you are inaugurating the commencement of worshipping of someone else other than Allah. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, Bhaskar Raoji, final word quickly.
See, I am happy that Banu Mushtaq Madam has made her stand very clear 2 years ago when she had said that she subscribes to her religion and stands by that one. That's a very good thing she has said. I share the Maharaja's statement saying that we are all full of pride that she has taken Kannada to the world stage, etc., etc. But in the past, Professor Nisar Ahmad had inaugurated this same festival, and when the Highness Emperor was away, it was the Diwan of Mysore who inaugurated. He was a Muslim Diwan of Mysore, and he inaugurated. But they never raised this kind of an issue over there. Both Dr. Nisar Ahmad and the late Diwan Mirza Ismail, they subscribed to the fact and respected the Hindu feelings. So this fact never came to the fore. But just because Ms. Bhanu Mushtaq has mentioned it, it has now become a subject of controversy that she doesn't want to accept it.
Okay. Now
if she had accepted it, it should not have been a war. But she has made her stand clear, and in fact, it will be in fitness of things. She should refuse to inaugurate the festival.
Okay, we'll see how it fans out. Thank you very, very much. Dr. Ranganathan, to stay on with us as we quickly shift focus, again staying with the Dakshin Bharata only in this edition of The Right Stand. A major political row has now erupted ahead of the Global Ayyappa Sangamam in Kerala. The BJP has slammed the state government for inviting Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M K Stalin to the religious conclave, calling it the height of hypocrisy. BJP Kerala President Rajeev Chandrasekhar warned both Stalin and Kerala CM Pinarayi Vijayan not to attend the event at Pampa on the 20th of September without first apologizing to Hindus and Ayyappa devotees. The BJP has accused both leaders of insulting Hindu sentiments by their stated positions on Sanatan Pratha and also what was unleashed on Sabarimala and at Swami Ayyappa under the Pinarayi Vijayan government in the past, citing past police action against Sabarimala devotees and controversial remarks by Udayanidhi Stalin. Let's try and deep dive into this and go straight across to our guests on this. But first, let's listen into the reactions.
மாநாட்டுடைய தலைப்பே மிகவும் சிறப்பாக அமைந்திருக்கின்றது. சனாதன எதிர்ப்பு மாநாடு என்று போடாமல் சனாதன ஒழிப்பு மாநாடு என்று நீங்கள் இதை போட்டிருக்கிறீர்கள், இதை அழைத்திருக்கிறீர்கள், இந்த நிகழ்ச்சிக்கு பெயரிட்டீர்கள். அதற்கு என்னுடைய வாழ்த்துக்கள். சிலவற்றை நாம் ஒழிக்கத்தான் வேண்டும், எதிர்க்க முடியாது. கொசு, டெங்கு காய்ச்சல், மலேரியா, கொரோனா இதையெல்லாம் நம்ம எதிர்க்கக்கூடாது, ஒழித்து கட்ட வேண்டும். அப்படிதான் இந்த சனாதனம். சனாதனம் என்பதை எதிர்ப்பதை விட ஒழிப்பதே நாம் செய்ய வேண்டிய முதல் காரியமாகும். எனவே இந்த மாநாட்டிற்கு மிக பொருத்தமான தலைப்பு வைத்திருக்கிறீர்கள், அதற்கு என்னுடைய பாராட்டுகள்.
Anand Tirupati, spokesperson of the BJP with us. Anand Ranganathan stays on and Professor Dinesh Vashni of the CPI is also with us. Namaste and Jai Hind to everybody. Thank you for your time. Narayan Tirupati ji, those who believe that Sanatana is Nui are now being invited to be chief guest at Ayyappa, where whose chief minister, the state whose chief minister said anybody and everybody can open to the doors and barge in to go ahead into the sanctum sanctorum.
No, Mr. Rajeev Chandrasekhar, my state president, has made it very, very clear that both are, they don't have any right to be there. Because Mr. Stalin, who says that E.V. Ramasamy Nayakar is their mentor. What E.V. said, as you rightly said, what their past says is that E.V. had said that the Ayyappa devotees as agents of filth and disease. This is what E.V. had described Ayyappa devotees. In that Ayyappa Sangamam, devotee Sangamam, Mr. Stalin has been called. Not only Udayanidhi Stalin, who said that Sanatana Dharma should be eradicated. Yesterday, in a meeting in Chennai, one of the deputy general secretaries of VCK, that is Vidudhalai Siradaigal Katchi, he has very clearly said that the Hindu religion should be decimated. That is what he has said. And he has said that Ram has killed Sambhuga. So many stories which these people misinterpret and do things. So they have been anti-Hindu, anti-Brahmin, anti-Ayyappa. In fact, Ivera said that Anukum Pirandavan Ayyappan. That is, Ayyappa was born out of a man and a man. This is what the DK, the Dravidar Kadagam, the offshoot of DK is DMK. So this is DMK's parent organization has told this. You don't have a faith in the Hindu religion. You don't believe in Ayyappa. Why you are going there? What makes you go there? So it is a conspiracy by the Pinarayi Vijayan, the communists, and also the DMK. We condemn this, and definitely Mr. Stalin should not have been invited.
Professor Vashni.
Look, Anand, this is very unfortunate stand of the BJP that one person should not be invited. Who should be invited? Modi ji, who does not understand what is even Sanatana, whether Sanatana is a historical reality or not, and what is Ayyappa and who are the Ayyappa devotees, who can be Ayyappa devotees. Arey Baba, when there is a centenary year, they would like to discuss what are the things to be done, what next to be done, what are the beliefs of the people of the Kerala, Karnataka, bordering Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. What is wrong in that? Samangam is more than 3,000 delegates from all walks of life concerning to the Ayyappa devotees will be coming there. What is wrong in that? If the government of the Vasam board is invited, Stalin or Pinarayi Vijayan, I don't think anything wrong in that. Government is supposed to understand what is the feeling of the devotees. What changes, every religion has a change, every sect has a change with the time going on. So it has to be understood in that context. If somebody says this Sanatan is to be directed, it is a narrative created by the BJP to fool the people of India because they are not able to solve the basic problems of the people of India, the highest price rise, the unemployment, the attacks on the women's rights, the attacks on the minorities and Dalits. This is their problem.
Okay.
So we believe that
Professor Vashni, last idea,
let everybody.
I didn't know that Udayanidhi Stalin was part of the BJP. Thank you for that information. Secondly, sir, the maximum number of devotees that come outside of Kerala.
I have never said Udayanidhi Stalin is a member of the
person
BJP.
who said, the person who created Sanatan and said,
your words in my, no Anand, Anand, please don't put your words into my mouth. I have never said this thing.
I didn't interrupt
I have never said this
you
thing.
didn't even understand the
No,
jibe there.
You do not put a
The fact
BJP
is-
narrative into my mouth
One minute.
or in my words. No,
One-
please.
This is what
behave
happens.
yourself. Don't behave like a Godi media anchor.
This is how.
No, please don't behave like a
No,
Godi
sir,
media
you
anchor.
are.
One minute. Professor
You
Varshney,
should say sorry for that.
Professor
You
Varshney,
should
Mr. Varshney.
Professor Varshney, see, there is a saying that you totally miss the woods for the trees. You totally miss the woods for the trees. What I was trying to say is that Sanatan is a narrative. Sanatan, the Sanatan.
narrative in
1 minute.
That is why the India Alliance parties are banned.
No, you want to spoil the whole debate? Do you want to derail it? Are you so consumed by only listening to your voice or nothing else? Professor Varshney, your personal jibes at me are equivalent to what Mr. Udayanidhi Stalin has said about Sanatan. You said the narrative about Sanatan was created by the BJP. The person who came and said upshabd about Sanatan was Mr. Udayanidhi Stalin, and that's why I said I didn't know he was part of the BJP. You got it? The other point, Professor Dinesh Varshney, that you forgot to mention Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. The maximum number of devotees who come to Sabarimala are from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. And Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan, if he really wanted to understand Ayyappa devotees outside of Kerala, should have invited Revant Reddy or even Chandrababu Naidu Garu or Pawan Kalyan rather than Mr. M K Stalin, who does not believe in Ayyappa. That's the point that's being made. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan. My point is, Professor Dinesh Varshney, if you are going to hear only your voice and you're stuck in your echo chamber, you know what the left has been reduced across the country. So I do not want to be disrespectful beyond that, despite the kind of utterances that you have right now uttered on this show. Yes. Go ahead. You are a professor, sir. You are supposed to be an academic and you are supposed to teach people etiquette and also civility and manners. And if this is what you are going to be teaching the students, I have some concerns there and I park it there. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan.
No, thank you, Anand. And I have to say this, it's nice to see the erudite Professor Varshney on your panel after a very long time. I respect him. He's an elder statesman. We may differ ideologically, but through you, I want to ask him a very simple question. And as I said, I have tremendous respect for Professor Varshney. He's a professor. So, Professor Varshney, do you believe that Islam is an opium for the masses?
That way, all religions are opium of the masses. That is what Karl Marx said, and we agree to that.
Right. Do you believe Islam?
All religions are opium from the masses. All religions are opium to the masses.
Including Islam?
All religions are opium to the masses. But in the present day context, you have to understand the realities of one sect or the other, one believers or the other believers.
Why don't you say it? That
I
Islam
say
is
all religions are the opium of the masses. I am saying all religions are opium of the masses. Anand, why are you particularly isolating Islam? Why are you particularly isolating Islam? That shows your bias. Your communal attitude towards one religion. That shows your communal bias.
Proven my point.
Anand, that shows your bias against one particular religion.
Go ahead. I don't want this. No, Professor Varshney, this is not a place where you can go ahead on a non-stop, unload and shout everybody else out. You don't need to do that, sir. He asked you a question. You disagree with him. Yeah, you can disagree. Don't shout over him, please. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan, continue. Dr. Ranganathan, continue.
A very simple experiment has proven the hollowness and subjectivity and selectivism of Professor Varshney. He carried on and on berating Hindus, Hinduism, Sanatan Dharma, reform is important, how there is inequality in it, how there is, all those things that are wrong in there. But
don't continue speaking over him, Professor Varshney. Please calm down. I don't want to lower your volume, but I don't want you to do what you're trying to do everywhere else. This does not work here, sir. You had your chance to speak. You have to have the patience to hear the other person out also. You must show that, you must reciprocate the civility that was shown to you, sir. Please do not do this again. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan.
Yeah, I just showed him the mirror. He was being selective in berating Hinduism, pointing out things that are ills of Hinduism.
No, I have not done it.
Professor Varshney, please do.
Okay, he's got a delay. Just please reduce his mic. He's got a delay. He's got a 30-second delay. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Thank you. The moment I asked him, is Islam the opium for the masses? He says, do not be selective. All religions are, even though he is petrified and trembling of even mentioning that Islam is also a religion and therefore by logic, Islam is also an opium. He dare not mention it. But there he immediately brings in all religions. But when it comes to ills and reforms being needed, he points only Hinduism. This is the dichotomy and the double standard of these communists. But then again, I don't blame them because they're born that way. I blame the state, the governance, and it has to be said the central government as well. Why are Devaswanam Hindu religious boards in the hands of the commies? Will my good friend from the BJP please answer this?
No, it's not
They
in the
are
hands of the
hands
communists, sir.
the
It's
communists
in the hands of those who are in government. So if
Yes.
it has to be taken out of those who are in government,
Yes.
and it has to be handed back to the Devasthanams and those who are supposed to the upkeep of the deity and responsible for the good governor and administration of the temple boards. But the simple point is that if you really are concerned about the Ayyappa devotees, just ask them who would they like to see preside over at the summit and as the chief guest of the summit, and they would get the answer. And if Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan cannot do that, then clearly the state government of Kerala also does not care for the sentiment of Ayyappa devotees. I rest the case here and the debate. Thank you very, very much to our panelists. Have to move on quickly. We decode the threat of infiltrators in the eastern part of Bharat, and it's spreading across the country, viewers. And through the course of the next few days, we'll try and dwell on it a little more and expand on it. But a mix of politics and lax implementation of border controls has created social, economic and demographic challenges in states like Bihar, West Bengal and Jharkhand. We leave you with this deep dive. One of the long-standing political messages of the Modi government has been the crackdown on illegal immigration, their impact on demographics, namely on the voter rolls in border states like Bihar, West Bengal and Jharkhand. This continues to be a constant political battle between the opposition and the centre, with the BJP slamming appeasement politics, only to be countered by the opposition, accused of targeting and disenfranchising the poor and minorities. But what is the reality on the ground? Bharat does not officially maintain accurate state-wise counts of illegal immigrants. The Home Ministry has repeatedly told Parliament that clandestine entry makes precise numbers impossible. Hence, no reliable central, state-wise stock figures exist. What we do have are flow-type indicators, for example, BSF and other military apprehensions at the borders, and proxy indicators like cases under the Foreigners Act or crimes committed by foreigners recorded by the NCRB, as well as data on demographic shifts. These show patterns of the impact of illegal immigration. Let's try and understand West Bengal, the border hotspot. A new demographic reconstruction research shows that West Bengal's 2024 voter roll contains 1.04 crore more names than the population data can support. That is an inflation of 13.69%. Now, these are names that cannot be explained by births, deaths, or migration and yet remain on the rolls. Along the Indo-Bangladesh border in West Bengal, the Home Ministry has told the Rajya Sabha that 1,547 people were apprehended in 2023, 1,694 in 2024, and 723 up to July 2025. On-ground reporting continues to show thwarted crossings with multiple attempts stopped at Cooch Behar in June and July 2025, with local police arrests inside the state. In 2022, crimes committed by foreigners were the highest in West Bengal, with 723 cases among the states. These data points indicate that West Bengal bears the brunt of Bangladesh-linked irregular flows because it is the primary land border. Flows rose from 2023 to 2024 and appear lower in 2025, but activity remains persistent. Let's take the case of Bihar, the open Nepal border and interior detections. Bihar shares an open border with Nepal along a long-standing treaty where movement of Nepali and Bharatiya citizens is legal. That same openness can be exploited by third country nationals and smugglers. Multiple foreign nationals have been stopped around the Raxaul crossing for document violations, where even an Iraqi national and other foreign citizens have been detained since April 2025. Bangladesh-linked cases do occur inside Bihar, where a Bangladeshi national was arrested in Araria for illegal stay in 2024. Meanwhile, CNN News 18 investigation shows Nepal to Bihar entry is being used by traffickers and agents to move people into Bharat and even sometimes out to Gulf jobs with forged papers. Forged documents and bogus voter rackets have also led to a surge in illegal voters in the border districts. Areas like Araria have seen a 41% surge over the years, while East Champaran has been seeing a surge of over 126%. Jharkhand. Enforcement cases and litigation also point to a serious trouble on ground. The Enforcement Directorate cases in late 2024 led to arrests of Bangladeshi nationals and Bharatiya facilitators in a money laundering probe linked to illegal infiltration networks. The Jharkhand High Court directed a joint fact-finding on illegal Bangladeshi immigration, where the state challenged that order in the Supreme Court, signalling both concern and contestation over the scope and process. Now, according to the 2001 and 2011 census, there has been a 14% increase in the overall Muslim population in the state as compared to 14.2% increase in the Santhal population. Pakur has witnessed a 42% increase in Muslim population against a 19.51% increase in the Santhal population when figures of the 2001 and 2011 census are compared. Sahibganj, meanwhile, has registered a 37% increase in Muslims against a 10.8% increase in Santhals. Although researchers and government data state Adivasis were the largest migrant population, BJP claims Bangladeshi infiltrators are grabbing land, marrying tribal girls and converting them. And due to this, the tribal population has declined and there is a rise in the Muslim population. The politics of illegal migration, let's understand this. Parties like TMC, JMM, RJD and Congress are not endorsing illegal immigration, but they oppose the CAA and NRC type instruments and support due process and welfare protections for immigrants from outside the country. The BJP frames that as soft on infiltrators while presenting deportation drives as necessary for security and rule of law. The Ministry of Home Affairs has launched a new drive of 30-day verification, special task forces and detention centers to standardize and speed up identification and deportation. But these moves are already prompting state actions and political flashpoints, namely over the Special Intensive Revisions or SIR from the Election Commission to clean up the voter rolls. So what's the bottom line? The border states continue to face illegal immigration with criminal rackets to smuggle people and develop forged documents to integrate foreign nationals on paper into the Indian population. The numbers and demographic shifts raise alarms, but so do the politics from the opposition parties, which in the name of voter calculations highlight civil liberties and rights, positions that their critics depict as permissive to this growing national concern. We need to watch out. We need to be careful as citizens. Bharat should be for Bharat. Voting, its processes, its rights, its resources should be for Bharat, not for illegals, not for parasites. On that note, we call it a wrap on this edition of The Right Stand, coming to you live from the CNN News 18 Primetime Studios, presented by Schneider Electric Smart Home Solutions. Thank you for watching. Namaste.
Co-presented by This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
In fact, going back to Pallavi, many would see this as some sort of a soft Hindutva approach by DK Shivakumar, which is now is in a series of statements that he's made on multiple issues. Just last week, he was the first one to come out and say that perhaps he's suspecting a smear campaign against the Dharmasthala temple when the state government had taken a different line, or going to sharing stage with Sadhguru alongside Mr. Amit Shah. Various of these aspects, many would see this as soft Hindutva by DK Shivakumar, who has time and time again said he's somebody who believes in God and practices his faith, and that has nothing to do with his politics or in which party he is.
Well, a couple of quick points here, and Harish, you would know this better than me. I mean, there's no doubt about the fact that DK Shivakumar is extremely religious and devout. I still remember when I was in Karnataka and I had tracked him to his constituency, Kanakpura, when he was filing his nomination papers. He spent around a good 2 hours first doing an in-depth puja before he filed his nomination. There are multiple stories on how before he does or takes any important decision, he actually seeks divine intervention. Look, there are leaders within the Congress like Digvijay Singh, like a DK Shivakumar and many others who make the point that being religious, going in for Hindutva doesn't mean that you agree with the BJP or the RSS ideology. In fact, Rahul Gandhi has always said that our idea of Hindutva or Hinduism is very different from that of the BJP plus the RSS. RSS and BJP look at religion from the prism of dividing people, whereas for us, religion also means you unite people irrespective of which religious belief you follow. So therefore, this argument will not cut much ice with the supporters of DK Shivakumar if he is accused of indulging in soft Hindutva to indulge the RSS or the BJP. And also I remember Rahul Gandhi once had told us that, it's very important to know your enemy. That's exactly the kind of words which have been used by DK Shivakumar. He said, I've read multiple books on the origin of the RSS. I need to understand where they are coming in from, which is why it is important to study them. That is the explanation which is being offered by DK Shivakumar. Now we'll have to see how much of a trouble his own opponents within that party are able to create for him.
Absolutely. Thank you, Pallavi, for joining us. In fact, Roni, stay with us because the next major story is also... In fact, before heading to the next story, we'll quickly go across to Mr. Ashok Gowda, the spokesperson of the BJP, who is joining us on the phone line. Mr. Ashok Gowda, we have seen DK Shivakumar taking a different stance, but this has now led to a major infighting within the Congress party. Somebody as senior as BK Hariprasad coming out and demanding an apology from DK Shivakumar. How do you read this?
The first part is when DK Shivakumar recited the anthem of RSS in the house, the discussion was happening on Dharmasthala. The Dharmasthala discussion, they wanted to divert it. Wherein the Dharmasthala issue, the Congress people have been directly caught now, including one Mr. MP from Tamil Nadu, Senthil, and the KPCC Social Justice in charge, Dwarkanath, and KPCC one spokesperson. These all people were caught. So they were worried that these names will come out and it will be an embarrassment. That is why DK Shivakumar wanted to divert it, which they are experts of. And that was part one. Part two of our assumption is, see, DK Shivakumar today is reciting the anthem of RSS. And wherein his own co-brother, K. Ranganath, MLA from Kunigal, says that there is nothing wrong in it and absolutely right. That is what we have been saying. Please come to Shakas, spend time with us and then speak about RSS. Don't just speak like that the way BK Hariprasad does or Priyanka Kharge does. Come to the RSS Shakas. There is no restriction for that only these people should come. All are welcomed. And come and understand that what RSS philosophy stands for and how we are building people to build the nation. That is the RSS culture. And this is what we have been requesting. Don't have a block in the mind. Come and spend time with us.
But you have BK Hariprasad, who's now come out and said that this is an organization that can be linked to Mahatma Gandhi's murder, has been